lose some games. Even the best camping trips have some problems. Even the best countries aren't perfect. This weekend, 12 people were shot dead in Chicago. That's almost as many as have been killed in Afghanistan this year. 16 killed in Afghanistan this year, U.S. troops. In one weekend. And the weekend's not over, by the way. This was a story I read this morning. There may be more killed before the weekend's over. As of this morning, 16 people were killed in Chicago. Chicago. Okay? There's all kinds of discussions as to how to solve those problems. Do we confiscate guns? Do we give more people guns? Okay? Personally, I think the solution is somewhere in between. Compromise. Shocking that I would think that way. But there's still discussion. Just because 12 people were shot to death in Chicago doesn't mean, okay, it's time to pull up stakes and move to Luxembourg. Okay? It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that at all. Just because you forgot a few things on your camping trip doesn't mean the camping trip is over and a disaster. It means that you do things next time to make sure that you don't forget those things. And you might forget them next time, or you might remember those and forget something else. There's things in America that are broken. And there's things in America that we need to fix. That doesn't mean it's a horrible place. Do we have far too many gun deaths in this country? Yep, we do. We do. How's our health care? Not very good. Not very good at all. Now, doctor care? Sure. I'm talking about the cost of it. I've had 2 hospital stays this year, so I know how much health care costs. Oh, by the way, had I been someplace else or had this been a different time, I would be dead. So while this is costing me a lot of money, what did I get out of it? Oh, yeah, I lived. Okay. Healthcare in this country needs a big do-over, a big improvement, but it doesn't mean that we totally suck. Okay. And I can go on and on and on and on. Is everybody in this country treated fairly? No, they're not. But are we treated more fairly than, say, a Christian who lives in Iran? Probably so. Yeah. Would you rather be a Muslim living in the U.S. or a Christian living in Iran? Ask yourself that question before you say that we're an unfair country. I am so blessed in my life. I have been given countless opportunities to do whatever I want, how I want, the way I want. Perfect example. One of the biggest problems I've had this year is for Christmas, the trophy wife has been wanting a pool, a built-in swimming pool. And I've just said that's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Well, I thought, you know what? It is ridiculous, but that's what she wants. Christmas time, we decided, sure, let's get a pool. So we're going to have a pool dug in our yard. We talked to the people. We decided on a contractor. We decided to have it done. You're going to have a pool by Memorial Day, he said. Okay. Started digging on this pool in April. Well, we've had rain. The contractor had equipment breakdowns. He had staff that didn't show up. He's had lots of reasons. And we didn't have a pool on Memorial Day. But we'd have one by the 4th of July. But that came and went. But we're going to have one by Labor Day for sure. Well, that day came and went. The pool is progressing, slowly but surely. So 5 months later, we still don't have a pool. And I've had people say, how do you stand that? This is terrible. That guy told you, and all that's true. But listen to what I'm saying. One of the biggest problems that I have is the built-in swimming pool I'm having built in my backyard is behind schedule. If you look up the phrase first world problems in the dictionary, the definition could be construction on your built-in swimming pool is behind schedule. Think about the problems that we have in this country. A lot of the problems we have in this country are a whole lot like my swimming pool being behind schedule. My air conditioner broke and the guy can't come out until Monday. My car broke and I got to put it in the shop to get fixed. And that means I have to take a day's vacation because whatever, I don't have another way to work. These are most of our problems, okay? Most people in this country have these types of problems. Others have real problems, okay? Health problems. But you know what? Doesn't matter where you live, you're going to have health problems. Where else but this country can you address the everyday problems better than someplace else? Please don't say Mexico, because that was part of the article that said there's more people moving into Mexico than there are moving from the U.S. There are more. This article suggested there are more people moving from the United States to live in Mexico than moving from Mexico to live in the United States. Not only was that wrong, but it was laughable. It was laughable that a tried and true journalist would try to believe that way. Now, why did he believe that way? I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to get a rise out of people. Maybe he really does believe that way. Maybe that's why he doesn't work in the industry anymore, because he really does think that way. And he's delusional. Anybody who thinks that other countries are better off than this country, please send me an email, jamesstrongshow@hotmail.com. I will have you on the podcast to make that argument, okay? Now, please don't say, well, Canada's better than the United States because of this, this, and that. Okay, maybe so. But what about that, and this? In other words, you can go back and forth. The United States, when compared with any other Western country, there's going to be good things about them and bad things about them. Good things about us, bad things about us, okay? Take the top 10 countries in the world, we're all about the same. We're all very similar. But we still have more freedoms here than anywhere else. We still have more opportunity here than any place else in the world, okay? But please remember this, that life in the United States, life in any Western country, by the way, is a whole lot like camping. You're going to forget your sleep shirt. The weather may not be sunny and 70 every day. You may not catch a fish at every cast. You may have skunks wander into your campground, okay? You're going to have problems. But if you put in the right amount of effort, if you look at them the right way, if you really do focus and try your best to make things better, you will. Didn't say you're going to make things perfect. Didn't say you're going to make things nirvana. Nirvana only exists in storybooks, okay? There is no such thing. You can strive for it, but you're never going to get there. If you're a ball team, you can strive for a 162-0 record, but that ain't happening, okay? If you're going camping in the Midwest, it ain't going to be sunny and 75 every single day. That kind of stuff just doesn't happen. The same with life in this country. And again, don't play the Charles Jaco and say, well, F him. I disagree with him, so I'm just not going to listen to a word that he says. You can do that if you like, by the way. This is America. You can do whatever you want. You can go ahead and never listen to my dopey podcast again. I hope you don't, but you can. If you really do truly believe that I'm off base, though, jamesstrongshow@hotmail.com. My word to you, I will have you in studio, and I will treat you respectfully, and you can tell me why this place sucks. I'll listen to you, and I will give you the microphone. I suspect I won't have any takers, but if I do, you're welcome. That's it. We're done. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. jamesstrongshow@hotmail.com. You can get the podcast that way. I'm now on another format, by the way. TuneIn Radio now has the James Strong Show podcast. That's right. Go to TuneIn Radio, search James Strong Show, and pow, there I am on TuneIn. TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter, Spreaker.com. There's a whole bunch of them out there, okay? Share the podcast with your friends, please. Share the word, share the fun. Get more people out there. If you do that, I will be grateful to you. That's it. Until next time, this is James Strong saying adios.